in this replay, let's just take a deep breath in and out. I'm really glad that you're here, and especially right now. We are moving through Mercury retrograde, as we just experienced with our technical difficulties, and a lunar eclipse on March 3rd. So this is a really potent time frame. And whether you follow astrology closely or not, honestly, I'm kind of a fan of astrology, but I'm not an astrologist. You can probably feel that something is amplified in your life. Conversations might be resurfacing that you've been avoiding. Old patterns on replay. Identity feels maybe a little exposed. And I want to be really clear with you. Okay, this is not a time to be dramatizing the energy of the sky. Totally understandable if you feel like you've done that before. It happens. Mercury retrograde tends to do that to people. However, we're not here to dramatize. We are here to help you regulate within it. And that's the difference today. And in moments like this, people either spiral or they strengthen. And I know which way I'm going to be guiding you today. And Durga represents strengthening. She is this beautiful, fierce goddess that allows us to stand in our courage amongst the chaos and to be ourselves, be more you. She's not panic. She's not force. She is steadiness under pressure. And that's the key right there. Today is about building that steadiness. So let's take a nice deep breath in before we go any farther. Big inhale. Hold a couple heartbeats and soften the whole body as you exhale. Okay, big breath in. Hold it a couple heartbeats. Long, luscious exhale. All right, now we are ready. So let's talk about this. Mercury retrograde started yesterday. We've got an eclipse on Tuesday, and we also have Durga supporting us throughout this. So we want to frame this retrograde as a time to review. Not to freak out, not to worry, but just as a time to recalibrate, to review, to reassess some of the things that are going on in our lives. And our eclipse energy, which is very potent, we just had one about a week and a half ago. That was the solar eclipse. Now we are upon the lunar eclipse. And this is all about illuminating the shadows, okay? When we have an eclipse, something covers the light. All right, so in a solar eclipse like 2 weeks ago, we had the moon covering the light, so the emotions overcoming the ego. And in a lunar eclipse, we have the Earth's shadow overcoming the illumination of the full moon. And so we are always in a moment where the shadows are being revealed. Now, this is not chaos. This is not a time to stress and to freak out, like I said. This is a time for refinement. So today we are going to build capacity. We're not going to worry about predictions because we don't have to worry about that right now. Really, it's about understanding who we are and why we are in this moment of time and to let ourselves be refined. All right, now we have three forces converging. This month, I always choose a sacred feminine to guide us, and I have Durga guiding us. And actually, Durga's 9 nights of the goddess, Navratri, starts later on this in March. So she is going to be guiding us through this eclipse. And she's all about protection, boundaries, and facing your fears with courage. Then we have Mercury retrograde, which is all about review, reworking things, and realigning. And that's really an assessment that we get to make all the time. We keep refining ourselves by reviewing ourselves, by reflecting, and then moving forward with that new assessment. And then our full moon eclipse in Leo. Now, this is from the Jyotisha perspective, not from Western astrology, but from Eastern. This is all about identity, visibility, and heart expansion. Okay, this alignment, it's not random. This is a purification corridor around authenticity. And this year, as many of you have felt, is a year that's asking us all to be more ourselves. Be more you. Okay, this is important. Now, let's talk about Mercury retrograde because it just started yesterday. This is all about review, not ruin. Okay, now things like technical difficulties happen during Mercury retrograde more often than not. Communication efforts can be a little more sticky. So allow yourself to just go with the flow. If something happens, don't stress out about it. Don't freak out. Just move with ease and with grace. Let yourself integrate the shifts, integrate the motions. So today we were going to meet in the app and we're meeting on Zoom instead. No big deal. Okay. Now, this Mercury retrograde is from February 26th to March 20th. So it's nearly a month of this energy moving through us where it's asking us to review, to rework, and realign. This is not chaos energy. This is reassessment energy. Mercury retrogrades ask us to pause and to ponder. What conversations need revisiting? What have you been avoiding? Maybe even actions that are part of those conversations. What have you been avoiding? What truth have you not spoken? What truth have you not spoken? Where are you out of alignment with your own voice? Let those questions, those ponderings land. What conversations need revisiting? What truth have you not spoken? You know. And where are you out of alignment with your own voice? So during an eclipse with a retrograde at the same time, our old identity stories are coming up to be edited, to be reviewed. Is this still me? Does this pattern of mine, does it work for me? Does it work for my current life, for my circumstances? This is the universe asking you to look at who you've been and who you're becoming, and are those two things in alignment? And if not, then we review that. We reassess. We say, okay, this is where I'm going to put my energy and my effort. This is why old emotions can feel really amplified right now. You are being challenged to be more you, and those old emotions, those patterns can come up to be seen, to be felt, and to say with clarity, yes or no. But either way, say it with your whole heart. So retrogrades slow down our communication. It makes it feel a little tacky, a little sticky sometimes even. Let yourself move through communication with ease, with grace, with mindfulness. Maybe even reconnect with people who you haven't talked with in a while, but your heart's been calling out to. It also exposes misalignment. So notice if there are people in your life that you're comfortable with, but maybe you're not aligned with as much anymore. And that doesn't mean you have to cut them out immediately, but it might mean reassessing your relationship with them. Maybe making improvements to that relationship rather than just cauterizing it. Let yourself see clearly rather than rush to big decisions. It also surfaces unfinished business. So if you have a lot of loose ends happening in your life, or maybe just one primary one, it's going to ask you to tie those things up and to move forward without those energy drains. It also invites response over reaction. Now, the difference there is a reaction is automatic, it's habit-based, it is mindless. You don't have to think about how you're reacting. You just do it out of patterning, out of programming. A response is a conscious reaction, essentially. It's a conscious choice in how you're responding to life. It's a conscious way of saying, does this old way work for me? That automatic reaction, or do I want to choose something different? And it creates a little space in your life to make those conscious choices. So where in your life are your conversations resurfacing? Let's just ponder for a moment. Where are you being invited to pause instead of defend? And let's just do a little mini practice as you continue to ponder those two questions. Where in your life are your conversations resurfacing? And where are you being invited to pause instead of defend? So here's our mini practice. Let's put our hands on our heart. Big breath in. Big breath out. And ask yourself, what needs to be examined more closely before I move forward? What needs to be examined more closely before I move forward? Breathe into that question. Remembering Mercury wants us to look at our lives closely, to review where we've been and where we're going. Let yourself become aware of where that examination needs to happen. And you don't have to do it all right now, but let yourself over the next 3 weeks really examine who you are, where you've been, and where you're going. Now, when you are in this, sometimes emotions are going to rise, and this emotional upheaval does not mean you are failing. It means something outdated is surfacing and it's ready to be released. You have the capacity and the courage and the ability, the skills to release whatever is surfacing. You are ready to overcome. When identity shifts, your ego is going to panic. What's happening? This is not familiar. Soothe the ego. Give it love. Give it trust. You're so cute, ego. You're freaking out. That's so cute. I got this. There's a part of me that wants more alignment, and that's where we're moving. Reassure your ego, reassure your nervous system that it is okay, because this is not weakness, this is transition. And Durga stands for us during these transitions. Okay, now next, let's talk about this container of the eclipse, the illumination of your identity. Okay, this happens on March 3, and in the mountain time zone, the best viewing is going to be from 4 in the morning till 5 in the morning. It's going to start around 1:45 and it's going to finish completion around 7:30, but the best time to see it for the mountain time zone is going to be 4 till 5 a.m. Okay, 4:30 is your prime spot. So let's go a little deeper. Eclipses bring a lot of intensity into the universe. And if you're a sensitive person, you're probably feeling that intensity already. It's said that there is a 3-day portal around each side of the eclipse. So approximately a week of eclipse energy. And that begins on Sunday. All right, but you might already be feeling some of that intensity. Eclipse in Leo, again, this is from the perspective of Jyotisha, especially in Leo energy, that's where the moon is transitioning through, you're going to be feeling identity. You're going to be feeling those vulnerable visibility moments. You're going to feel your sovereignty. And you're also going to be asked to open up your heart into more full expression, because eclipses are going to illuminate what we have been avoiding. All right. Now, I love my notes. Okay. So the eclipse in Leo. Leo is asking us, where are you playing small? How comfortable is that small position? Does it still fit? Where are you performing instead of living? Ooh, that's an authenticity question right there. Where are you performing instead of living in your authenticity? And where are you afraid to be seen? Leo is bold. Leo is courageous. Leo expresses itself. So feel into those different areas of your limitations, the places where you're hiding. Illuminate that with love and let yourself stretch a little wider, a little brighter, a little bigger. Eclipses don't gently illuminate, they expose what is true for you right now. Okay, so let this exposure be an eye opener. It's like walking through a big, bold, open door. Now, this is going to bring emotional surges. This is going to bring sudden clarity. It's also going to bring some endings and some revelations. So it's said not to begin something brand new during an eclipse window. So allow yourself just to see with open eyes, open heart, with clarity, with courage. Where are you playing small? Where are you feeling limited? Where are you hiding? Because Leo specifically is going to shake with this eclipse your ego attachments, the things that your identity clings to. It's going to shake up your identity roles. It's also going to create an opening for your creative expressions. So what have you been wanting to do that you haven't made room for in your life, that you haven't committed to fully? Let those creative expressions start something new for you. And that might just be coloring, in a book. It doesn't have to be some gigantic thing that you sell or create some shift in your whole entire life. I literally got a little desk coloring book that has affirmations in it. It's beautiful. Those kinds of creative expressions are an opening during this eclipse window. And it's also going to shake up your desire to feel loved and approved. Now there's nothing wrong with those, but just watch out for the need to cling to other people for that love, for that approval. Codependency is going to be revealed here, and independence, sovereignty, loving yourself for who you are and allowing other people to love you. That's what Leo is asking us for right now. Okay, so in this eclipse window over the next week or so, you might feel more drama in your life. You might feel old wounds around visibility being shaken up. You might find that there's a little bit more anxiety and fear about being rejected happening. Okay. And it also is going to push you toward being more truthful, more bold in your words and your self-expression. So I'm going to ask you a couple more questions. Where have you been performing instead of living? That's such a sweet question. Where are you performing instead of living? And where does something feel too tight right now? All right. When we outgrow roles, they start to feel too tight. All right. You're ready for something different. You are ready to open up, but that can feel vulnerable. It can feel exposing. So let yourself regulate your nervous system as you feel these visibility exposures. Take deep breaths. Let your shoulders roll back and down. Open your collarbones and your heart and know that you are enough. If emotions rise during this eclipse, it is okay. Once again, there is no failure in emotional heaviness or emotional turbulence. Let yourself acknowledge what you're feeling. Let it move through you with ease and with grace, and then resettle, reassess with that Mercury energy. This is here to illuminate our paths, not to punish us for anything that we've done wrong. It is simply preparation. This is preparing us for the rest of 2026. Most astrologers say for 6 months, but what if it is for the rest of 2026? You are becoming the person you came here to be. That's exciting. This eclipse is helping prepare us for that. All right, so let's reframe this fear around visibility. Leo eclipse fear sounds a lot like, what if I'm too much? What if I'm not enough? What if I lose people's love and appreciation, their approval? Ooh, that stings. Durga is going to support us through this eclipse by asking us, what is more dangerous? Being seen or staying small? What is more dangerous? You know the answer to that. Let yourself be honest. Review the places with Mercury's energy that aren't in alignment with your fear of being seen. You don't have to go crazy, but stop hiding. Just take 10% off that hiding and see what happens. All right, this is where courage lives. This is not aggression. This is not rebellion. This is steady honesty, being truthful with yourself. Whew. Okay, so one more aspect that I want to bring in is more specifically how Durga is going to support us through both the Mercury retrograde and this eclipse happening next week. She brings steadiness under pressure, and she really is the perfect guide. I love it when these goddesses move through my life and show me which one needs to be where, because it always works out. Oh my gosh. Durga, she is fierce, she is bold, she is strong, she is capable, she will fight the good fight, but it's not about being aggressive. It's not about becoming louder. She is about becoming steadier. Steadier. She does 3 things beautifully for this moment in time. She protects the heart in Leo. All right, so Leo's asking us to get a little bit vulnerable, and she's going to offer us protection there. She's going to cut through the illusion of the eclipse. All right, remember, it is shadow coming to the surface. Those shadows technically are illusions. You cannot have shadow without light. So allow yourself to recognize that she is going to help us cut through the illusion of this eclipse. Whatever it brings to the surface, Durga's got your back. And it's also going to stabilize your nervous system during this retrograde review. She's going to teach us that you don't need to perform authenticity. You don't need to even protect it. This is Durga eliminating this intensity. This is Durga supporting us through the intensity. This is allowing yourself to feel courageous and bold and capable. You have all the skills that you need in this moment. You've learned so much in your life. Let Durga support those things, but you actually have to take the actions. Take what you know and put it into action. That's one of Durga's greatest steadying qualities. She helps us to increase our capacity. Yes. So you can hold more, so that you can feel more, so that you can be more you. Now, this is about nervous system leadership. Durga does not ask you to feel the fear and run away in fright. She just simply wants you to breathe into it, to recognize that there's fear in front of you, to no longer bypass it, and to breathe your way through it. And fear can come in all kinds of forms. Fear can show up as our sort of traditional fear. Fear can kind of come in as intense excitement, intense moments where something really great is on the line, but you're afraid that it might not happen. That kind of intensity, Durga's got your back. All right. This is also about containment instead of suppression. So if fear arises, if intense emotions flow through you, let's not suppress them. Let's not ignore them. Let's not repress. Let's hold a great, big, beautiful Durga container of love. You are able to hold this and not have it drain you by ignoring, it drains. It subtly siphons your energy and your vitality. But if you invite presence into the fear, into the intensity, you have a much larger container to hold all of that experience. This is also creating boundaries without becoming hard. Love yourself enough to honor your vitality, your energy, your prana, your aura. Create healthy boundaries between you and those that need them. If it feels uncomfortable, that's part of the intensity. Recognize the discomfort and creating a healthy new boundary. Breathe. Tell your ego identity, who doesn't know how to put that boundary up without hardness, there is a deep knowing part of me that is aligned, that wants this. That part I'm empowering. That part I'm feeding. Ego, sit back there. Back seat for you. All right, this is also courage without having to perform. This is you showing up boldly, authentically as you. No longer putting on a show of what you think other people want you to be, but actually showing up as the amazing being you are. Okay? Now, there is a moment in leadership where your nervous system becomes the room. And Durga is that leader. She holds a steady vibration. And wherever you lead in your life, if it's in your family, if it's in the moments at work, if it's with a volleyball team like I have, your vibration is their vibration. When you hold yourself steady, your vibration fills the room and it fills the other people. So we were in an intense moment last weekend in a volleyball tournament. So I coach 8th grade girls. And they're great. But we were at the peak of intensity in this game. We have gone 2 sets. We're in the 3rd set. We keep coming back from behind. We go to extra points in just about every set. And we're down like 6 points in the 3rd set. It's so crazy stressful. But we come back. And we start to rise. And then we go back and forth between who's going to win. And we end up going back and forth, coming from behind and win that game. Because my vibration of certainty that I trusted this team that we've built together became the vibration this team held. And we all held it together. And that's the leadership of steady vibration. That's what Durga wants for you. All right. Durga lives in these moments. Durga lives in the intensity. She loves the intensity. She supports you through the intensity. Durga isn't the quiet goddess of Saraswati who wants to sit on the riverbanks and sing. Durga loves these moments of intensity. So let's do a little mini grounding experiment. Take another breath in, breath out. And feel your feet on the floor. If they're not on the floor, feel them. Put them down on there. You can even stand if that feels better. And allow yourself to inhale strength. Exhale steadiness. Feel your spine get a little taller. Inhale strength. Exhale steadiness. Feel the connection of all parts of your body. Inhale strength. Exhale, steadiness. You can feel all that's coming and be steady within it. So during this eclipse retrograde season, I'm going to encourage you to do a couple of things. Number 1, do less. Slow it down just as much as you need to. You don't have to stop. Simply slow down 1%, 5%, 10%. Slow it down just enough. Do less and observe more. Watch the world. Watch your emotions. See who you are and who you're becoming. And react slower. Even choose to respond instead of react. Giving yourself space and presence, the ability to respond. So encourage slow speech, fewer impulsive decisions, journaling after intensity and before responding, grounding movement over big dramatic expression, and allow yourself to feel regulated. Let your nervous system settle in and receive the blessings of Mercury retrograde and this lunar eclipse in Leo. All right, so this eclipse, it asks for you to reveal. The retrograde asks for you to review. Durga asks you to stand steady. Review, reveal, steady. You got this. And just reflect, is there any of those that feel most steady in you in you right now, most alive? Steadiness, revelation, reviewing. Reviewing, revelation, steadiness. All right, now, if you would like a quick Durga practice to take with you from this moment forward through the next week or 2 or 3 through Mercury retrograde, let this be a steadying Durga practice for you. Once again, a beautiful hand on your heart and a big breath. Just that mindful breath helps to regulate the nervous system. And ask yourself, what truth am I protecting? What role am I ready to release? What truth am I protecting? What role am I ready to release? And let's say together, I stand in my truth. I am supported. I stand in my truth. I am supported. I stand in my truth. I am supported. That's it. Simple, steady, and powerful. All right. If this energy resonates, then maybe we're not done together. I have 3 Eclipse integration audio meditations in my Solutions app. You don't even need to be a member in order to enjoy them. You do have to have the app, and you can subscribe if it works for you, but these are available to you for free. 3 Eclipse meditations to use during any eclipse or during any time of intensity. So check those out in the app. And this Sunday, we gather for the Durga Goddess Gathering. It is a virtual gathering which will bring in a deeper embodied space to strengthen your center and stand in your truth. This is such a beautiful time with all of this celestial energy going on, but also we're moving toward spring. Letting yourself stand solid and steady in your truth is phenomenal. We do these gatherings once a month, once virtual, once live, but we also I'm going to be focusing intensely on this eclipse during our virtual gathering, not so much during the live gathering later on this month. So let yourself come in if that feels aligned. You can sign up on my website, mindyarbuckle.com. We're going to move, we're going to reflect, we're going to mantra, we're going to anchor and practice containment in real time. And if you're ready for more sustained support, later in March, I'm opening the Be More You 4-week integration circle. This is a beautiful new offering that I'm giving to the world so that we can anchor in this authenticity. You are ready. You have learned so much and you just are ready for some support. Being more you. Authenticity is exactly what you're craving right now. And this is where we don't just talk about refinement, but we actually live it. So you've got accountability, you've got sisterhood, and it's 4 weeks of nervous system leadership, identity alignment, and embodied courage. Because being more you is not a single moment in time. It is allowing yourself to be integrated over and over and over again. It's a practice. And you just don't have to do any of this intensity alone. Whether you're watching these videos or you are moving through some of my programs through the app, you are not alone. And I love walking this path with you. Stand in your strength. I know you, I know your heart, and I know you've got this. All my love to you. Namaste.